And people, let us know in the comments. At their peak, who's better? Nils Hoglander or Vasily Podkolzin? Because I think there's only one answer, and it's obvious.
Sorry, after Nils Höglander, Podkolzin, who's better?
Who's better? Like at their peak, right?
Oh yeah,
both,
it's clearly Nils Höglander,
yeah,
100%. And I know Vasily Podkolzin is beloved in Edmonton, and he's beloved by Leon Draisaitl. Guy still had 8 goals last season, largely playing with Leon Draisaitl. Like Kyle, I think you could probably bang at home 5 goals playing with Leon Draisaitl. Maybe even more. Hey, you were just a finisher around the net back in your ball hockey days. But look,
yep.
Nils Höglander leads the Canucks with 24 even strength goals last season, in a year where they had one of their best seasons in franchise history.
2 seasons ago.
Right? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 seasons in 23-24. Right.
Yeah.
Look, I think he's gonna be better than the 8 goals this year, but I do wonder, like, what is the peak for Nils Höglander, and can he be consistent? I think one of the most interesting things from my conversation with him was he talked about how he needs to do a job of he needs to change his game playing with the top players on the Vancouver Canucks. I'll try to pull up one of the quotes here, but he was basically just saying that when he plays with the top players on the team, he feels like in the past he's had to he's been changing his game. And the quote was here. So Petey's one of the top players in the league, and for my game when I'm playing with those guys, I'm not gonna lie. In the past, it feels like I don't play my style when I play with those guys. And he goes on to say, when you play with those guys, you want them to have the puck, and I go to the net. It's about sharing the puck. So he still has to be that pretty player, but he also has to win pucks down low and go to the net. And he says when he plays with those guys, he's got to play his game and not be too fancy, which I found interesting because Nils Höglander can be a pretty fancy player sometimes. I have some hesitation about him taking that out of his game because when he has the puck on his stick, I think he can be one of the most creative guys in the NHL. But, Kyle, what are your thoughts on that? Like, can Nils Höglander strike that balance between still being flashy with the puck and making plays, but also doing a good job of being a net front guy who can bang home goals, Kuzmenko style, if he plays higher up in the lineup?
I mean, I'm sure he can, because that can't be the hardest thing to do for a skilled guy, and that's like position yourself in front of the net and bang home goals. Like that's the bare minimum. Like his floor to do that would be pretty high, in my opinion. Now, is that what we want from him? I don't know. Like I want Nils Hoglander to tap more into like playing like Kiefer Sherwood, just being a dog all the time. And I think that's Hoglander's problem. Like sometimes he's a dog, and then I feel like sometimes he gets bored of being a dog, so he tries to be like, I don't know, somebody who carries the puck in and quote unquote attempts to drive play, which is cool and all, which is cool because you want a guy with high skill and the instincts to do so with the puck to again like do good things because that's in his repertoire of ability in the game of hockey. But I I just feel like if he's going up the lineup to play with like a Besser and a Pedersen or Kane and Pedersen, whatever, just I think that like based on his skill set and based on the bare minimum that he can do with the puck, if he just told himself that I'm gonna be a dog on the bone every single shift, this guy would A, turn into a fan favorite again, and B, still generate a lot of offense because he's retrieving pucks. He's big enough to do so. He's drawing penalties, right? Like you can be an uber net positive. And to me, I feel like sometimes he's either not picking one or just overall not doing the most to stay engaged in the game because sometimes the puck luck doesn't go your way. When you're playing against those top guys, like you're playing against the best defensemen in the league as well. And when you don't have the confidence, like you're just you're gonna get checked. You're gonna and maybe like he gets down on himself when it's like, yo, when those things are happening and the puck skills are not going your way for like a couple of minutes or a couple of shifts, go back to finishing all your checks. Go back to drawing a penalty. Like there's been so many times in the last couple of years, actually not so much last year, but the year before, well, yeah, Nils Hoglander scored 24 even strength goals. Congratulations. And you did a lot of things. But, bro, how many times prior to him slowing down towards the end of the 2024 season was he drawing penalties or just knocking players off their game because he said something in Swedish or something? I don't know. Or he's just annoying for real. So, to answer your question, I don't know if like I want this guy to be a net front presence. Can he just be a piece of shit again, game in and game out?
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. And, one thing he said that he worked on this summer primarily was his skating. I wonder how that could benefit his game. Like just digging into the data, this guy was pretty much league average in terms of speed last season. But I'm just very curious where he's going to play on opening night. Like, him and Garland have had some success together. Like they've outscored the opposition over the past 2 years, 17-9 when they've been on the ice. But with Teddy Bluger as their center, I'm just not quite sold on that. I still think the best spot for him, I've said this before, every day is no, would be for him to earn a spot alongside Elias Pettersson, push DeBrusk and Kane down the lineup. Can he do it? I mean, that's going to be on him at the end of the day. But, Nils Höglander at the end of the day is one of the biggest X factors for the Vancouver Canucks this season. Like, making $3 million a season, he's getting paid like a third liner. But if he can finally prove that he's a top six winger and be consistent, then that contract's going to be a steal for the Canucks. And look, Kyle, I honestly believe he's got the potential to do so. But again, that's because we've seen the skill in flashes. He ended last season on a high note, but he just hasn't done it consistently aside from that 23-24 season.
Yep. Lacking the confidence. Do you think it was like a Rick Tocchet thing too? Like Rick Tocchet, I mean, dude, I used to be scared of watching Canucks games after Nils Hoglander would make a mistake and the camera would pan at Rick Tocchet. This guy was just like hated in Nils Hoglander, man. But I think he hated him because there's no excuse for Nils Höglander, in my opinion. I know he's still a young guy and he's been through a lot of coaches, but there's no excuse for that guy to take shifts off. Like, just go be the dog on the bone. You could do that. Just go be that guy. And there's so many times where he's not that, and then he's doing nothing, and then like the puck's on a stick, and he's making a bad turnover or a bad read, and it's like he can't build on the confidence. And don't you think for a player like Höglander, he needs to just stack shift after shift after shift after shift after shift after shift to like find his game? And isn't that easy to do when you finish your checks? I know he's not keep for sure when he's going to get like eight hits a game, but I don't know. Watching, he's one of the most annoying players to watch because it's like, yo, there's no excuse for you not to be involved. Like this is year 5 of Nils Höglander now here, year 6 coming up. Like,
entering year 6, yeah.
Just go be that guy. Go be a great forechecker. Please.
Go be that guy, man. And I'm cheering for him because Kyle, like the little guys like you and me, both in stature and below the belt. What? We got to cheer for guys like Nils Höglander. He's probably one of the only guys in this team, maybe him and Connor Garland, that are shorter than me. I thought we might be the same height, but I stood next to him. I'm like, damn, I haven't got like, half an inch on this guy.
You kind of look like Nils Höglander, man.
What's that?
You kind of look like Nils Höglander.
No, he's got better hair for sure, and less facial hair. But my beard wasn't quite as good at 24 years old either.
Yeah. So, anyways, Podkolzin at his peak, nowhere close to Nils Höglander. Because let's touch on this a bit. I mean, let us know in the comments. Do you guys regret trading Vasily Podkolzin for Eric Brandstrom or whatever? Like, I forgot how that trade ultimately worked out. It was like a 4th round pick.
Podkolzin in the 4th, yeah. It was Podkolzin for Vander Kane, remember? Because we traded the 4th back. Okay. Yeah, that trade was a mistake, but I have the same take that I had over a year ago. It's like I'm not losing sleep over it. Like Podkolzin is a bottom 6 forward. Like he should have been on the Canucks. Like in hindsight, it was a mistake to trade Podkolzin and sign Heinen. But the Canucks didn't have confidence that Podkolzin was going to be anything more than really a 4th line guy. And he's got the work ethic and the defensive details to play higher up the lineup. But his profile is a bottom 6 winger. Like that's just what he is.
Like Danton Heinen.
Like Danton Heinen.
Yo, then why are guys like Draisaitl like who's Draisaitl is so competitive and like I don't know, like why would he? Because $3 million, I know the cap is going up. That's still a lot of money. Like, wasn't there a world where you can get like Podkolzin for like $2 million? Like what was the rush here to get into $3 million?
Look what the Oilers just did with Trent Frederic as well, right? Like Stan Bowman's kind of doing his best Jim Benning impression and overpaying the bottom of the lineup guys, right? I know they put Frederic on the top line at practice today.